Chippie Sensational Science Lab on tour from my house. Easter Bunny Science is a Chippie STEAM program brought to you from the Behringer-Crawford Museum. Hi everybody, I'm Kim Garing-Cook and I'm the Education Director at Behringer-Crawford Museum. And obviously with all the quarantining going on and stay-at-home orders, I'm at my house doing Chippie Sensational Science Lab. So are you ready to do some Easter Bunny science?
Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail. Hippity hoppin', Easter's on its way.
I'm here with Haley, my daughter. She's going to be helping us with the experiments. Now the first one, we're going to do a special way of coloring Easter eggs using science. Now, we all know that oil and water don't go together. They like to separate. So we're going to use that to help us decorate some really cool eggs. Now, the first thing you want to do is color some eggs. And if you don't have any of the dyes that you get at the store, it's very easy to make your own. You put about a cup of hot water into a mug or some kind of bowl. You use your food coloring. In this case, we started out with red. I have about 12 to 15 drops in here. And you need to put in some vinegar. That helps the color to stay. That helps the color to stay on the eggs. You put about, maybe a teaspoon or two of that in with your water. You stir it up real well and then let your eggs soak for however long you want to get the desired color. When you're finished, you could just set them on a drying rack, or I just kind of put them on the edge, kind of like this in the egg carton to help them dry. And then once they're dry, now the fun part's going to begin. Take another bowl and you're going to add about 1 inch of water in the bottom. Ours started out hot. Some recipes call for boiling, some didn't. So I just used hot warm water, about 1 inch, a little bit more. Go a little bit deeper there. Go a little bit deeper. Okay, that's good. Now you want to put about a tablespoon of oil in. So I put a little bit in a bowl there. You're going to dump that in. Okay, you don't need all of it. Well, that's fine. Then you're going to take a different color. We're going to use blue. And you want to put a whole lot of the color in. More than you had in the other one. So go closer so it doesn't spray on you. Okay, you want to make sure you put at least double the amount in of the last one. Probably about 20 or more drops. Don't skimp on this at all. Okay, that's good. All right, now you're going to take a fork or a whisk or anything you have on hand, and you want to whisk it together and get it all mixed up. You want to have bubbles on it, so kind of whisk it around. Do you like my shadow there? Okay, let me help here. I'm going to help Haley. You want to get some bubbles going in there. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to take one of the eggs that you had drying, and you're going to put it down in there, and you're going to roll it all around. And you want to really get the color to sit on it. The longer you leave it in, the more marbling that's going to happen. So just kind of let it sit there a minute on a side, and then kind of twist it some more. Okay, let's hold it up a minute and see what we got going here. Look at that. Pretty cool egg, huh? Okay, let's set that over to dry, just kind of on its side. And let's try one more. So take another one of our eggs, dip it in, roll it around. You could start with white eggs too, but it's really cool to have the different colors showing through from underneath. Okay, move your hand so I can see the egg. And look at that. You will have the best Easter eggs. Now, let's talk about the science behind this. Since oil and water don't mix, the oil stays on top of the colored water. And then when the oil coats the egg, it only lets part of the dye go through to the egg itself. So that's why it comes out speckled like that. Who knew science and Easter mixed? We're going to see how wind helps make the sails go on boats. So we're going to make a peep boat. All you need are some peeps, preferably some that are flat like the bunnies or the eggs, and a piece of paper that you're going to cut in the shape of a sail, pretty much like a triangle. And then you're also going to need like a skewer or a longer toothpick. Once you cut out your sail, you're going to poke the skewer or the toothpick through the bottom and come out through the top so that it looks like a sail. Then you need to get one of your peeps out, and you want to stick that right in the middle. You're going to fill a container up with water. If you have something larger, that works too, or even in the sink. And then you're going to place your peep boat in the water. Whoops! He fell down. Now, what you can try is see if you use different material for your sail, if that matters. If you have different shapes peeps, does that change it? What sail's the best? So you can do different experiments this way. See which way works best for you. And then, if you have a couple that work really well, have a race with them. When you're finished with your peep races, then you can have a taste. They taste really good. The next activity that we're going to do has to do with lots of really good Easter candy. And it also entails engineering. We're going to build either a little tower, a basket, anything you'd like using toothpicks, and if you have them, jelly beans. Now, I will say the only jelly beans I had were Jelly Bellies, and they have such a really nice coating on the outside. It actually made it pretty hard for this to do, because I had trouble getting the toothpick to go through the hard covering. So I actually found that Starburst were working the best. So what you're going to do is take some toothpicks, and if you have the kind that are pointier, they're going to work better for you. I only have the flat-ended ones, so I had a little bit of trouble getting it to work. But what you want to do is just let the kids stick them into the candy. If you have gummies, it will probably work with gummies. And then you're going to try, here, Haley, put it on to that one. Make sure your table is not still wet, otherwise they'll get kind of sticky. But you're going to push them together and just keep going and form a basket. Or if the kids want to just make a candy sculpture, anything like that is really cool. But if you actually made a little basket out of jelly beans, that would be pretty nifty. You can also cut the toothpicks in half if you don't want them that far apart, or you can also push the candy halfway through like I did on, oops, where is it? There, on this one here where I have the jelly bean halfway through it. And then you can just have them build it up. Maybe they want to build a bridge like this and see if it'll hold some of their toys. So you can just keep working with it that way. But that's a really cool activity, and you can teach the kids all about engineering and what makes structures stay together, that you have to have more on the bottom than you have on the top, the heavier pieces on the bottom so that it can hold the weight. So this is a really fun way to go about teaching engineering. Now, for our last activity, we're going to do some recycling. I'm sure all of you have lots of pasta sauce containers, spaghetti sauce containers, glass jars, pickle jars, anything like that will work. You can even use water bottles if you don't have any of the glass, or if your little one's really small and you don't want them to have the glass. And then you can turn it into a really cool lantern. We have a candle with sand in the bottom. You can also put one of those battery operated candles in it. You could even fill it up with dirt and have them plant a flower in it. A great gift that you can leave on the porch for Grandma and Grandpa for Easter. Now, it's real easy. All you need to do is take some glue. We're using tacky glue. Squeeze some out into another cup or container. That's good, Haley. Nothing exact here. Then you want to put some water in it. Oh, about twice as much. About the same amount, I guess, maybe twice as much. Just kind of, that's good. Now you can take your paintbrush or a stick or something and stir it all up together. Then what you need to do is go get all of those old sheets of tissue paper that you have from Christmas that you didn't use. Cut it into pieces. You can also tear it. It doesn't really matter. Okay, that's pretty good. You just want to get most of it mixed together. Okay, then what you want to do is take some of this mixture. Pick up the jar, Haley. You're going to paint some of it on the jar, and the kids can do this. Very easy for kids to do. Put down some of your tissue paper. Get some more of the water, put it on top, cover it all up. Tell them they have to cover the whole thing. Then you put another piece of tissue paper and you want to overlap them. Paint the glue water over that. Regular school glue and water works just as well as the tacky glue, sorry. Put another color. You just want to keep putting it on and keep overlapping it. The more they put on there, the more colorful it's going to be. They can even bend some of it over, and look at these colors that we're getting. It doesn't take much time. The kids love doing this. I used to do this project with my Girl Scout troops, and it comes out with a really nice product in the end. And like I said, be creative. Maybe you fill it up with candy, and if you still have the lid, have them decorate the lid with some tissue paper or some material filled up with candy and leave that on your neighbor's step as a nice Easter gift. We got to keep that social distancing, people. Well, I hope everyone has had a great time with our Chippie here at my house, and keep going with your science. Have fun. If you want to find some more activities and some videos, visit us at bcmuseum.org. Stay safe, everyone.